Thank you for tuning in to Change and Thrive. I'm Dr. Wendy Heckelman, founder and CEO of WLH Consulting and Learning Solutions. Be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss an episode. Retaining top talent has been a topic of conversation for years that started the war for talent research that emphasized how employees, highly productive talent with unique capabilities, would be a key competitive differentiator. Considering the complexity of knowledge-based jobs these days, I'd argue that it's never been more important, not to mention the impact of the pandemic and the need for remote work practices. Some industries and disciplines like hospitality have many furloughed workers. Other industries and disciplines have high demand for employees. How do you choose the best and brightest who will be able to drive your current and future enterprise success? We work in the pharmaceutical industry, where expertise in research, disease state areas, or improving access to medicines is central to a pharmaceutical company's success. There are countless roles that cannot be easily replaced because it takes years to develop the expertise and experience, not to mention the loss of key relationships and customer equity. Smaller biotechs are building out their organizations, so when they lose people with knowledge of their company, the therapeutic areas, and all the planning involved in preparing for a launch, it's a big problem. Larger pharmaceutical companies with their expansive sales forces are likely to ship reps to hybrid roles where they can call on doctors both physically and virtually. Therefore, the representative who would casually call on a doctor by bumping into them now needs different skills to connect virtually. Therefore, when companies lose people with those high-touch relationships that can be continued virtually, this is a significant loss to the organization. On top of the headache itself, we have to address the very real financial implications of talent retention. Initially, the average financial cost of replacing a high-performing employee is more than 400% of that employee's compensation. This cost does not include the 1 to 2 years of lost revenues and profits while the new employee learns how to perform effectively in the job. Because the productivity of high performers is so much greater than that of average employees, their defection is even more costly. Defection of even a few high performers can trigger rumors, further accelerates erosion of employee confidence, and moves other high performers into the at-risk category. This is a perfect example of why 1/3 of senior leaders cite the failure to attract and retain top talent as their most significant managerial challenge. Obviously, we don't want this to happen in your organization. So in today's episode, I want to talk about the critical factors of talent retention. One of the key principles we apply to any organizational effectiveness challenge is that solutions must have a 3-level approach that addresses needs and the impact at the organizational, team, and individual level. Our first foray into the importance of talent retention was over 20 years ago when a major global pharmaceutical company wanted to understand why its high-performing talent was leaving, especially women and minorities. After identifying the factors, we weren't surprised that they mapped to our organizational, team, and individual philosophy. When we look at the organizational level, we analyze existing corporate culture, talent management practices, policies and practices around total rewards, and flexible work arrangements. At the team level, we focus on the manager-employee dyad or working relationship. Is there a positive work environment? How is performance evaluated and managed? Does coaching and supervision create a level playing field for capability development and advancement for all? At the individual level, we look at work-life balance, perceptions of employees regarding meaningful work, and transparent and fair career advancement criteria. Each of these factors is essentially a lever that can either promote talent retention or cause unwanted turnover. It's up to organizations to equip their leaders with the advanced skill set to assess each factor, recognize warning signs in their people, and either re-recruit top talent or make a save when unwanted voluntary turnover is pending. Our understanding of talent retention runs deep, and it's our belief that every people manager should be equipped with this skill set. That's why we created a blended e-learning program with tools that outlines the retention factors and, more importantly, teaches leaders at every level how to push those levers and re-recruit and, when necessary, save their top talent. To learn more about the RX for Retention program, visit changeandthrive.org. I'm Dr. Wendy Heckelman, and have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next week.